welcome back to Over 55. I'd like to introduce our first guest, which is Barry Fay, the president of Huff and Puff. Hi, Barry. How you doing?
I'm just great, thank you.
Great.
And how are you?
Fine. I guess main question is, what is Huff and Puff?
Well, it's a seniors fitness association for adults 55 and over in the year that they join. And it's a non-competitive organization with 35 different activities, all physical activities. We don't have cards as an activity, for instance. We have, all the badminton, volleyball, line dancing, square dancing, clogging, tapping. Hockey is one of our bigger groups. And our aim is to provide seniors with the opportunity to get some exercise and have fun in the process.
That's what I like to hear. Getting connected with other seniors, or older adults as we call them nowadays, I guess, and having fun. We all go out and have some fun. Now, you explained to me off camera how that started. I thought that was interesting how the Huff and Puff started, its origins.
Well, it started by a group of mostly retired postal employees who were ice skating at one of the London arenas, and the guys got together and said, why don't we rent some ice and play a little shinny, which they did, and one of those people coined the phrase Huff and Puff, and it stuck. And then, after they'd done that for the winter months, then what are we going to do in the summer? And they thought of playing slow pitch. And then my perception is that the ladies heard about that and they decided, well, we can play slow pitch. So that's when co-ed Huff and Puff actually started. That was back in the mid-'80s. Okay. And it started, and as the members requested newer activities is how we got to have 35 of them.
Okay, and you said all the activities are all co-ed, so there's no men's team or women's team, it's just all co-ed, which I think is great.
That's correct, yes.
And you say it's not competitive, but I know one of my ex-board members is on your hockey and baseball, and it's probably a bit competitive, but that's good. But it's not physical, like you're not hitting each other.
We do occasionally have, it's something that we have to learn as we get older, that we cannot compete as vigorously as what we once did. And sometimes we all have to learn that, well, okay, when the ball's 6 feet away, you just let it go.
That's good. Now, you were saying that it originated here. It's unique to London, which is another great thing, because London seems to be the start for a lot of things, and been around for 26 years roughly. So,
yes, it is unique. I've told a number of people that there is no organization in the world that can compare with what we have from the standpoint of the number of activities and the cost to participate, and no one's ever challenged me.
And what does it cost? I guess that's a good question. How much would it cost to be involved?
For most people, it costs $60 to join, and that's for the first year. Okay. And $55, there is a $5 administration fee there. We do have another membership fee that's only $40, but that is for any activities where we don't pay rent. In other words, if all they want to do is bowl or curl or golf or cycle, where we're not paying any rent for those activities, then they only have to pay $40 a year.
Because there is an expense. I mean, you have to rent city property and rinks, and all that time is expense, because somebody else probably wants to rent it, and there's a lot out there. I think you said your membership is 1,650 people. That's a lot.
That's right. And that's one of the things you did touch on, that other people want to rent. That's one thing that we do consciously, is avoid prime time. We have all of our activities during the day. when everyone else isn't scrambling for time.
And that makes sense because the kids are at school or whatever, and they're, they want the rinks or they want the fields in the after school or in the evening, and that's when maybe the older adults want to take it a little easy and sip a glass of something,
Yeah,
and
whatever.
whatever. So no, that works out good. So you said there's 35 different activities.
Yes.
And they're all physical, basically. So there's no.
The closest to being a non-physical activity that we have is our singing group,
Okay.
and it is still a physical activity.
Now, age groups, they start at 55, and that's got a great ring to it, the number 55. But what's your oldest Huff and Puff who's huffing and puffing?
Well, I can't say exactly right now, but it's 90-something.
Wow.
We have had people playing volleyball, for instance, and tennis, and badminton, well over 80, and sometimes over 90, still playing those physical activities.
Well, I know one of your Huff and Puff members had done some accounting for our organization as a charitable gift, and he was saying that he'd been on the Olympic hockey team and he'd only won a silver medal. And I thought, oh, the poor guy, only a silver medal. But here's the kind of quality of people that are in your Huff and Puff that are Olympic medalists. That's amazing.
That must have been Fred Etcher, I bet.
No, probably his buddy. I think it was James Connolly.
Oh, James.
James.
Okay.
But I mean,
all right.
when he had said that, I just about fell off my chair thinking, and he's saying, I only got a silver medal. I mean, most people can't even go to visit the games, let alone be in them.
That's right. Yeah.
So that's great that there's that kind of talent out there. Then he's playing in a pickup league with co-ed.
That's right.
Is there anything else you'd like to say before we close her down?
Well, I'd just like to say that we don't refuse anyone membership in our association. We are, as you know, we're a co-ed organization, and we do ask people to fill out an application form and give us personal information, which we require, but we don't turn people away. There have been, over the number of years that I've been president, we've had to turn people away because they didn't want to abide by the rules.
Well, and that goes for everything.
And that's maybe 3 people over.
Well, that's a great organization, and Barry, I really want to thank you for coming on and sharing this with us, because I think it's good to see that there's more and more things to do in London for older adults. We'll be right back with you from VON.